Federal agents just hit a home tied to Pooh Shiesty's family, and that alone is enough to send the internet into a frenzy. Early Wednesday morning, the FBI confirmed agents were carrying out a federal court-authorized search and arrest warrant at a Cordova home connected to the Memphis rapper's family.
Fox 13 live in Cordova, where federal agents have been searching a house.
Property records show it belongs to the family of Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty. Fox 13's Jeremy Pierre is joining us live out there. We understand that people were awakened by flashbangs earlier this morning.
Yeah, and they heard the FBI and TBI screaming, basically going into the house saying that this is the FBI. And you can see right behind me those FBI agents still on the scene. Not only FBI, but TBI as well. Now, check this out. We've been out here for a little while now, and we have seen these agents tagging the vehicles. It's about 4 vehicles, 1 inside of the garage and 3 others in the driveway here. They at one point they had all of the trunks of these vehicles open, and you can see, I believe that's a silver BMW they had there with the trunk still open, and they're still tagging and taking pictures. We have seen a few of those agents go in and out of the home so far this morning. We have not seen anyone taken out of the home. Of course, that's something we're working to gather information on as to if anyone has been taken into custody. But again, we do know that the Shelby County Assessor's Office, according to their website, they list this home being owned by Lontrell Williams. Now get this, Lontrell Williams is also Pooh Shiesty's name. So his father's name is Lontrell Williams Sr., and his name, Pooh Shiesty's name, Lontrell Williams Jr. We do know that the rapper Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Jr., is in a halfway house at this point in time after his release from federal prison. Now again, we've been monitoring this situation for quite some time, seeing those FBI and TBI agents going in and out of the home. Again, the most action we've seen so far this morning is that they have been looking into these vehicles. The 4 vehicles, 1 in the garage and the 3 in the driveway there. You can see one of those agents actually looking, I believe that's a Wrangler, a gray Wrangler, just down the way from here. Now, of course, we are working our sources to gather more information as to what all is playing into this investigation, this raid that's taking place at this Cordova home. Of course, stay with us all throughout Good Morning Memphis. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story for you.
All right, big news there. Jeremy Pierre live at the scene. We'll check back in with you in about a half hour, JP.
Local crews showed up around 6 a.m. and saw agents going in and out of the property. Now here's where this gets serious fast. What has people locked in is not just the federal presence. It's the fact that this is not some random location. This is a home being tied directly to the family of one of Memphis rap's biggest names. But before people start jumping out the window, there's one huge piece missing. Officials still have not publicly said who the target actually was, and that one missing answer changes everything, because this could either turn into a major new chapter around Pooh Shiesty, or it could end up being tied to somebody else around that property entirely. Either way, once a federal search and arrest warrant gets attached to a home with his name around it, the story is already hot. But that wasn't the only detail that made this blow up. The second reason this story exploded so fast is because of the name attached to the house. According to local reporting, the Shelby County Assessor's site lists the home under Lontrell Williams, and that matters because Lontrell Williams is the name tied to Pooh Shiesty, while local outlets also noted that the same name is shared with his father. So right there, you already have the perfect formula for confusion. You've got federal agents at a family-linked home. You've got a name that instantly makes people think of Pooh. And you've got no public explanation yet for who the warrant was really aimed at. That's why this story is built for clicks, but it also has to be handled carefully. Because the wrong kind of video would rush to say Pooh himself got hit. And right now, that is not what has been publicly confirmed. What has been confirmed is the location, the warrant, the federal involvement, and the silence around the actual target. And that silence is exactly what gives this story its tension. Because when the FBI says very little, people start filling in the blanks on their own. But the timing makes that even more explosive. The timing is what makes this feel bigger than a normal morning raid story. Pooh Shiesty was released early from federal prison in October 2025 after serving part of a 63-month sentence tied to his federal case. Since then, he has been trying to step back into the spotlight, get back to music, and move forward. So when people hear federal search warrant and Pooh Shiesty family home in the same sentence just months later, they are naturally going to read that as possible trouble. That does not mean it is his case. That does not mean he was the target. But it absolutely means the optics are bad. And in rap, optics move almost as fast as facts. The moment that footage started circulating, the conversation was already headed in one direction. Is this another legal cloud over Pooh, or is his name getting dragged into something before the facts are even out? That question matters, because this isn't even the first time this year people thought he was back in custody. Back in January, social media went crazy with rumors that Pooh Shiesty had been taken back into custody. Those rumors spread after people misread federal prison records and started running with the idea that he had been locked back up. But that story got pushed back on hard. Reports at the time said his label clarified he was not under arrest and that he remained on home confinement until April 2026. So now, look at the situation today. On one hand, that January situation should make people more careful about overreacting before the facts are fully out. But on the other hand, today is different in one major way. This time, there is confirmed federal activity at a home tied to his family. This is not just a rumor from a live stream or a database screenshot. This is a real operation, real agents, and a real warrant. That's why this story has to be framed the right way. Not as a conviction, not as a confirmed new case on Pooh, but as a federal move serious enough to immediately put his name back under a microscope.
Crews have seen FBI and TBI agents going in and out of that house. The Shelby County Assessor's website lists this house as being owned by Lontrell Williams. That is the name of both Pooh Shiesty and his father. The rap star is in a halfway house right now after being released from federal. Live look at the scene in Cordova.